Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for logging on to CBS News Colorado. We are back in the CBS Colorado sports office hanging out with Rod Mackey because, Rod, this is
We
awesome.
can't keep you away out here, by the way. It's so
I
funny.
always want to come back
I
in here. But especially during this time of year. He's got Avs one night, Nuggets the next, Avs one night, Nuggets the next. Hopefully that continues for at least another couple of weeks. Let's start with the Avs.
Okay.
Coming home after splitting the first two games in Dallas, what stood out to you in games 1 and 2?
I mean, the biggest thing is Alexander Georgiev is on his game, because I know they lost last night, and I saw people early on when they're down 3-0, 4-0, getting on the goalie. The only reason they were even in that game is because of the goalie. I thought he played great. The firepower they've had all season long, especially in the postseason, went away for a while, finally showed up in the third. They made a game of it. I think that will help momentum-wise going into game number 3 and 4 here at home. No team in the NHL better at home than the Avs. I like the way they sit right now.
Well, look, you knew that obviously Dallas was going to come out swinging in game 2. And if you're the Avs, and I know they don't want to hear this after a loss, but you did what you needed to do in Dallas, right? You got one of the 2 games. You come back home with a split. You've got home ice advantage for the rest of the way. And now you just hope that home ice advantage can play to your favor like it did all season long.
And it'll be really fun to watch every time Jamie Benn touches the puck.
Yes.
Because Josh Manson, go get him. It's going to be loud. Avalanche fans all over it. I don't understand. I know it's just the thing is, like last night, for instance, with the time we had in the show, we didn't even show the highlight on Taves because, you know, he's hockey tough. He was back on the ice a couple shifts later, but that's a cheap shot. He's down, he comes up, he lives. I hate to see it. In the other series, you look at the Panthers, Bruins game, you look at the Hurricanes, Rangers, they've been real physical. This series, that's the one thing we have not seen in this series, which is a bit surprising. I think that's going to get ramped up in game number 3, which is really going to make it exciting Saturday
You mentioned the Bruins. You got David Pastrnak acting Jim Montgomery
no.
on the side. Hey, can I go?
Can I go?
Can I go? And, of course, Monty said yes. Okay, game 3 in Minnesota tonight as we take a look at the Nuggets series. I hate the term must-win when it's not a must-win, but boy, they really need this one.
154-0 for teams down 3-0. It is a must-win. It's absolutely positive. It is remarkable, though. You think how long the NBA has been playing in the playoffs and going 7-game series, and the fact that 154 times has happened, and the team that's up 3-0 is 154-0. Mathematically, I guess it's not a must-win, but it is absolutely a must-win. I really think this is the night the Nuggets show up. I truly do. I hated the way that Shaq addressed the Joker after he won the MVP. Even though that might not bother him, I think it'll probably bother some of the other Nuggets. I know they talked over and over about how embarrassed they were. I mean, they were blown out of their own building. I think we're going to see the best Nuggets team. Michael Malone said, I had to remind these guys, hey, don't forget, you are the champions. I think that's the team we see tonight.
And can they throw the first punch tonight? And he also talks about that, you know, like you got to come out swinging because you know Minnesota, obviously the home crowd's behind them. You hope maybe with a young team, Minnesota kind of rests on their laurels. Hey, we took 2 in Denver, we're good. And then the Nuggets can come out and kind of punch them in the mouth. Other than that, what does this team need to do in order to get a win in Minnesota? If not tonight, certainly in game 4, but maybe even take 2 in Minnesota.
Yeah, I there's a couple things. One, I said this after game 1. I don't think Minnesota continues to shoot the way they have. I mean, they're not missing anything. It's not just Anthony Edwards. I mean, remember, they looked this good last game without Rudy Gobert. I mean, Walker's hitting shots. Reed's hitting threes. They weren't missing anything. Jamal couldn't hit anything. I mean, besides MPJ, the Nuggets, we're not seeing the best of the Nuggets. We're not even seeing close to the best of the Nuggets. What I think needs to happen is the Nuggets have to do what Michael Malone said and realize who they are. They have to start playing like that. If they play this mediocre basketball against a very good T-Wolves team, they're done. They're getting swept. They have to show up. They have to play better all around. Play more physical, play better defense, and make some shots. Someone besides MPJ and the Joker need to make some shots. And the Joker wasn't even hitting shots in the last game.
And give credit to Minnesota because they have been applying the pressure defensively. They have completely taken the Nuggets out of their game. You hope that with this long rest, right? I mean, you go several days off. You hope that the Nuggets can now do some things to kind of alleviate that pressure and maybe get back to Nuggets basketball.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about that defense. It's like gnats.
Yes.
I mean,
They're
I've
everywhere.
never seen Joker be so contained. I mean, they get the ball, and all of a sudden you got 3 guys on him, and it's remarkable. The refs, to me, have swallowed the whistle a lot. And if that's the way they're calling, honestly, the Nuggets need to adjust because maybe these refs are not calling this game the way that they're used to being games called, which means, okay, then Denver can be more aggressive. If you're not getting calls your way, turn it around, because the one thing that concerned me and bothered me a lot is there was so much complaint by the Nuggets about the referees in game number 2. When you're the team that's not as good, you spend a lot of time focused on the rest, because if you feel you're better and you're missing a couple calls, you're like, that's okay, we're not going to get it done. There was a lot of complaining. That's the way it is. Change your game, adjust, and take care of the T-Wolves in Game 3.
We will see what happens Game 3 in Minnesota on Friday, and then you got Game 3 of the Avs and the Stars Saturday, and then Game 4 of the Nuggets and Timberwolves coming up on Sunday. And, of course, you, Romy, and Richie going to have it all.
And the Rockies have won one in a row.
Hey, shout out to the Rockies. Love when they can get a win. Thanks, Rod.